Hey, Matt from Weight Health Synergy. Got a reader writing in here. Question from Amy Thorne. Do people really need 8 hours of sleep per day? What are the advantages? Good question, Amy, and thank you for your question. Yeah, the short answer is yes, absolutely. 8 hours of sleep. Some people need more. Now, there may be the exceptions who may need a little less, but on average, people are sleep deprived these days. If you look at how we used to live, not all that long ago, I mean, modern society has gone through huge changes in just the last 100 years. But if you look at 100 or 200 years ago when we didn't have lighting and electricity and whatnot, we were following more of a natural sleep pattern. You would have gone to bed with the sunset and got up with the sun. You would have followed the sun's patterns, which would have probably given you closer to 10 hours of sleep, depending on the season, of course. More in the winter, which I think is natural for a lot of people to need more sleep in the winter, and we tend to ignore that, and less in the summer, which is good because it's warmer outside, and that's when you would have been farming and getting your crops in and things like that. So the natural history of the human body has always been one of, for millennia, because the last little bit of time that we're living in right now with the advent of electronics, electricity, electric light, it's been a very short period of time in the period of human evolution. For much longer, like 1,000 times longer, 1,000,000 times longer period of existence, human beings have slept more. They've followed the natural cycle of day and night. And so that's right there is our first indication or our first pointer to what we should be doing, what is naturally best for us. And obviously with the advent of electric light and then the advent nowadays of all the devices we have and the blue light and all the things that can interrupt our sleep, never mention caffeine and coffee and things like that, never mind I should say, not never mention, that is just compounding the problem, making it worse. Some people can or think they can live off of less sleep and they run with caffeine, drinking a lot of coffee. They think they're doing okay, but if you're inevitably almost always going to hit a wall and come up with a crash. The other thing is the advantages, or I guess you could look at it both ways. What's going to happen if you don't get enough sleep, or what are the advantages of getting enough sleep? Well, sleep deprived, and by that I mean anything less than 8 hours, at least 7 hours, is mental functioning. There's been studies that have shown that sleep, not getting enough sleep, like say 5 hours instead of 7 or 8, that you're actually a worse driver. You're driving worse than if you were intoxicated. That's a very interesting right there. Shows you some very real world applications of what happens when you're sleep deprived. So obviously your brain's not functioning correctly, is not functioning at its peak capacity, is actually incapacitated. You are not thinking clearly. You're not going to be at your best. If you're a creative, or for instance a content creator, or some type of artist, or even if you're into music or higher math or just about anything, when you're functioning throughout the day, you're not going to be performing at peak levels when you're sleep deprived. There's been a lot of studies now to show that you, with sleep deprivation, with not getting enough sleep, will put on weight. So not only does it hamper weight loss, but it also could be part of the problem why if you're overweight, you can't seem to get out of that. You can't seem to lose the weight. It could be a large key to it, a large portion of the problem could be that you're not sleeping enough. It's very, very important to get enough sleep in terms of our health and weight loss. And then, as I was alluding to earlier, you see people say, well, look at them. They're burning the candle at both ends. They seem to keep going. How much caffeine are they drinking, I think, is a number one question, namely coffee, even tea. Are they taking stimulants? How much better could they be performing than they are? Maybe they just have a much stronger constitution and can handle that for a while. I say for a while because I don't think they can do that indefinitely. And I think they're probably going to hit a wall. And as we get older, you start to pay the price for all that abuse of the system and burning the candle at both ends. And it may take a very long time to correct that year's deficit. Hopefully you can correct it. Hopefully you don't drive it right to the point where you all of a sudden die of a massive heart attack or stroke or something. because I think it's very critical to get 8 hours. I think 8 hours is a good number to strive for. I would say, if anything, aim for more rather than less. If you can get 9, it's probably a good idea. And, most of you, or a lot of people, are going to say, well, how on earth am I supposed to do this in this busy day and age? Well, it's your health. And if you're concerned about your health, if you're concerned about weight loss, if you're trying to maximize the hours you do have in a day, having better sleep, having enough sleep is going to make those hours better. So would you rather have more poorer quality hours in your awake hours during the day? Or would you rather have better quality where your brain is working better, where you're feeling better, but maybe not quite as much? So you can't really chop off the sleep end of it and then expect to get the same performance, the same enjoyment, the same level of your brain performance, your body performance, your engagement that you would have if you had got enough sleep. So that's, I know myself personally, I've seen this whenever I'm able to get enough sleep, whenever I'm not drinking too much coffee, because caffeine really affects me and it really interrupts my sleep. If I have coffee later than noon, I used to say 2 o'clock, but even after noon, it seems to hit me. And I know that I perform much better on a good day's sleep. And I just feel better. I'm less stressed. I have more patience with the kids. It's all around better day, better quality hours in my waking hours. I'm more productive too. I come up with better ideas and I just function better for my own creative outlets. So what do you guys think? Do you agree with what I'm saying here? Have you tried this yourself and made an effort to get more sleep and are getting 8 hours and you've seen the difference? Are you somebody that so far hasn't seen the difference and you're like saying, whoa, I'm functioning fine off 4 hours sleep a night? Let me know in the comments below. Just love to hear your feedback. Let's discuss it. I think there's definitely enough evidence out there, an ever-growing body of evidence, as well as our human history, to show that we should be getting 8+ hours of sleep a night. But I would like to hear your feedback. Leave it in the comments below. Let's discuss it. And thanks for tuning in. We'll be back soon here at Weight Health Synergy.